Hold on, before I show you all our Quiver, all the boards, all the SUP Surf boards we have here at Mauka Lodge, I would like to give you some context. And I'm going to show the boards in a minute. I have them all aligned there. But I wanted to really explain and give you some context of why we work like this, why we have these boards, and so many boards. And the reason is very simple, for two reasons actually. When I'm coaching, I want to be able that when you come here, you have a good quality board. That's why we only invest in high performance SUP Surf boards, and we have also high performance paddles, full carbon paddles for our guests, to make sure really that, you know, the tips we give you when we ask you to try something in the water, you really can feel and can have the right board under your feet, and that allows you to experiment and feel the difference, you know. And for that reason, we have very different shapes, we have different volume boards. All of them are very light and strong and high performance boards in general. The second reason is I wanted to have enough variety, because variety is important. This obviously demands that we have many boards available to suit different abilities, skill levels, sizes, okay, weights, and experiences, past experiences. So that's the reason why we have so many boards, and it looks like every year we're adding more and more boards. Now let's have a look at the boards, and I'm going to explain. I'm not going to review the boards. I can leave that for a different video. I'm going to just give you an overall idea of what we have here and why we use these boards and why we bought these boards to have it at the camp. Let's have a look at the boards.
All right, these are actually not all our boards, because we have a couple of boards, about 3 or 4 boards being repaired right now. And also we have a couple of models that we have 2 of them, so 2 of the same size and volume. But for the purpose of the video, I'll bring 1 of each. I'm going to divide the boards by volume. That's going to be easier to just organize everything. That's how we like to organize it here as well. So the first board here is a SUP Surf. It's like a 10.6 by 30 wide, and it's a 160 liters board. It's one of the most volume boards we have. It's a great board for those heavier riders or for those beginners that are starting out. It's a very long outline, which like a longboard style, so it's great it works great as a longboard as well, and is a very, very comfortable board, great to start catching your first waves with. And next to it is the flagship here of the camp. It's the SUP Speed. This board is we use it differently. Like, this is a 9.5 SUP Speed, and this board is a high performance board. However, it's a great board to also put some heavier riders on, or some beginners, because of the channels they have underneath the board. This board glides really well. Those parallel rails get you on any wave you paddle to, so it's a very easy board to paddle, stable board, and catches everything you paddle for. So it's great for, again, those kind of beginners or beginner plus that are just getting their first waves, getting really comfortable, getting really confident, even if their paddling technique is not the best. This board glides so well that it's gonna get you into many waves. So I use this board mostly for those kind of guests that come, they're heavier, or if they're not heavier, I want them to start catching waves as early as possible. This is one of the boards I use the most. Next to it is our Soul 9.5, also pretty similar in terms of stability to the Speed. Again, it's a board for heavier riders at under 50 liters. However, it turns really well. You can see that outline is a little bit more rounded, so the board tends to turn a little bit easier than the Speed, which is a more technical board. The Speed is a board that if you want to turn the board properly, you really have to step back to the tail, while this one is a bit less technical. Even if you don't step back too much, you can turn it easier. than the speed. So this sits at less 10 liters than the speed 9.5, so it's also a great option. Then we get into one of our favorite boards currently. It's the Infinity Wide Speed. This is an amazing board, extremely stable. It's a 9-foot board and very wide at 32, very stable, very light board, and this board turns like a dime, really. For the size of the board and volume, it's quite impressive. I think they really nailed this shape. So it's one of our favorite boards here at the camp as well. Okay, now we are getting into the under 40, under 30 liter category. Next to it, we have another speed. In this case, we have a 9.2 speed. Okay, like the 9.5, just a little bit shorter and smaller, and great overall board. Next to it, another performance board. In this case, it's a 9.0 2.0 flash. Such a great board. This board has very thin rails for the size. It's a very maneuverable board, very sensitive board for those heavier riders that are a bit more advanced in their surfing. They normally love it. It can handle smaller days, but also some bigger days. It's a board that it's a really fun board to surf in, let's say, between hip to head height. It's a really comfortable and fun board to ride. However, demands a bit more technical skills in terms of paddling, because of this really rounded shape and very thin rails. The board tends to move side to side way more. So in order to keep it going straight to catch waves, you need to be a bit more skilled with your paddling technique. Next to it, you have one board that we use a lot, and it's great for our Portuguese waves, and that I have personally rode for many years in the smaller sizes, which is the Sunova Creek. This board is the Creek 9.1. Shares a lot of similar things to the Speed, same channels, is also very fast paddler, and gets onto waves really easily. However, it turns a little bit easier on the wave, again due to this more rounded outline and rails. Great flotation. It's not the most stable board for its volume, but it's definitely a great performance board we have here. We actually have a couple of them at this same size. In this case, we have here a longboard shape. It's actually a smaller longboard, a mini longboard shape. Is the Steez 9.2, and this board again is a very stable board at its width and volume. Those guests that like easy boards to get on waves and like a little bit more the longboard style of surfing, this is a great choice. We love it here, and this, I think, in general it's a overall great shape. Nothing too crazy and not super radical, but just a comfortable shape to have fun, catch a lot of waves on it. Next to it, we have the one size smaller of the KZ 2.0 flow. This is the 8.8. Okay, we already talked about this board. And next to it, we have again another Creek at a smaller size. In this case, the 8.10. And now another Infinity. This is one of the most requested boards on the camp. Why? Wow, it just combines a lot of good things. It's stable, it turns really nicely, and it's very light. It's one of the discontinued shapes for Infinity, unfortunately, because everyone seems to love this board. Wide tail, quite stable, and quite performance as well at the same time. Alright, next to it is one of my favorite boards. I'm not a longboard type of guy, but when I ride a longboard, this is the board I get. It's the Sunova style. Personally, I think this is the best board of all collection of Sunovas. It's just a perfect board. I have to tell you, I think I'll be giving this board great score. So much fun. You can paddle it like standing, but if you just want to leave your paddle for some minutes at the beach and just prone paddle it, it works great. Such a good board. This board we have some extra traction on the front so that you can walk up to the nose, can play around. Such a fun board to surf as well. And also we have a couple of the old flows. This is the 8.4. The 8.4 flow. This is a bit more technical. We start getting into a different category again of boards under 110 liters. This board is a bit more technical. There's not a lot of rock around the nose, but it's quite fast for that reason as well. And the shape-wise, overall, is just a traditional surf shape. Nothing too crazy. It's a radical board. Demands, again, we started to get into some sizes and shapes that demand a little bit more technical skill to ride. And finally, we now moving into boards under 100 liters or close to 100 liters. We have now here the Spice 711. This is a great board to surf in Portugal, where you never know how the conditions will be. If it's a bit choppy, it gives you the stability you need to be comfortable, but at the same time it's a very, very maneuverable board. It feels actually smaller than it is under your feet, and I love it personally. Nothing wrong with it. It's a board you really can take on any day out, but you can still get some good performance out of it when it's cleaner, so you can use it in all of overall conditions. Next to it we have the Flash, and this board is the Flash A3. As you see, quite rounded outline as well, similar to the Spice, and quite stable as well. Great summer board. I love to use it with smaller waves up to, let's say, shoulder. It's quite fun board, quite responsive, and also so stable that it's like comfortable to spend time on it, you know, to make those long sessions without getting tired. I really love it. And next to it we got another Infinity, and again same shape as the other one, just a bit smaller. Super nice board, also very requested here at the camp. Another Flow, original Flow in a smaller size, 8.1. And one of my other boards, the Spice. This is a 90-liter board. Great board for those with a bit more skill. It comes at a 7.4 in terms of length. It's a length I really enjoy. Quite short and quite responsive. I love to take, if I have to take one board, this is the board I take, because if I don't know the condition I'm gonna get, this is the board I always take. And next to it is one Sunova SP24. That's a performance board at this volume and dimensions. It's a really performance board. It's a super fun board to ride. Not a lot of people can ride this board, obviously, but it's lovely. Yeah, and another one. This is an even smaller one, less volume, 7.5. Those are the three performance boards for those riders that, you know, it's just not a lot of people show up that can ride such boards.
So that's it. So if you have any question about these boards, or if you like to join us here in Portugal for a week of SUP surfing, we just released recently the dates for 2027. So feel free to just jump on our website and have a look at the dates we have available. It will be super fun to have you join us here and become part of the Mauka family and spend a week with us of good waves, good laughs, coaching, and a lot more. I'll see you on the next video.